All right, we have made it live this morning. We are alive. You can see I am alive. Yes, yes, yes. So anyways, I was starting to talk about, before I had this befuddlement here on Facebook Live, I was talking about how sad it is for people not to be able to get together because of politics when it is concerning family. You would think you could just have a no politics zone and just be glad that y'all are alive and that you get to see yourselves for another year. I think, and I am surprised. I am surprised how deep the divide actually does go on this. But, just, we know it's out there. We know people are out there. It just seems like whether you are on the left or the right or the left or the really right, that you could come together for a couple of hours and just act like human beings. Who knows? This could be the last time you see some of your relatives. So I think from that standpoint, it is sad. I look forward to every year getting together with a group of friends, and I only see them once a year. There are people, quite often, some of them don't even live in this area, but they come and they get together, and we just talk about our year, which is kind of refreshing to not be talking about current events, but just been talking about what's been happening in your life. So I would hope that people could come together for Thanksgiving. As Isabella Young had a dream of pulling people together to be together for a Thanksgiving meal, I think she really did an amazing job of pulling this off. I understand about 400 people had dinner on Sunday evening at Montague's, and this was all put together, spearheaded by Isabella Young, working with T.J. Jenks over there at Montague's, let her use his kitchen and his restaurant. He was there just for support. Her brother Seth was over there at Fat Daddy's cooking what? Turkeys and ham. And Seth, I didn't realize this, but Seth had actually worked over there at Fat Daddy's for Chris Reeder for several years, so he knew how to do it. They raised over $1,800 to put this meal on. Truly a testament to the entrepreneurial spirit, but also the spirit of care. And as Isabella had said, she knew so many people that didn't have family, didn't have friends. They were all alone, and she wanted them to come out. And it was a really, really fabulous thing that she did. Being a business major, she said, it made her realize no matter how much money you think you need. I think I read this I'm doing this from memory now. So she realized, a business major, she said she had a goal. She had the amount of money she thought she would need. What she came up with is no matter how much money that you think you need, get more. And that is so true, so true. So many people in business, we only need $5,000, and really they needed $10,000, and so their business quite often ends up in failure because they don't have the proper financing or can't put the financing together once they get into it. In Isabella's case, she raised the money. She had a lot of volunteers working with her, and most importantly, she had, I think, the support of her parents, who made sure that, and were right there to help her, but they also were very much into the fact that this was her idea. She was an independent person. She is what year is she at Lander? I don't remember. Is she a junior? I think. But again, I'm doing this all from memory right now. But she said, I do have the article right here. Isabella said, I love that name, the experience has been a great lesson in real life. As a business major, I realize now that no matter how hard you try to budget, the things are going to be more expensive. Whatever you think your goal is, you need to make it higher. Yeah, there you go. She said she admitted to having anxiety early in the day when I woke up. That was Sunday morning. I woke up. I admit I was scared. I was afraid. I would mess everything up. I was stressed out. But as the day went on and she had support from family, friends, and volunteers, she said her fears subsided so that she could focus on what mattered, serving the people who came to the Thanksgiving dinner that she organized. And you know what? Things really did turn out well, she said. People came together. We had a great time. We exceeded our expectations. We fed so many people. I am beyond grateful. And actually, all of us, I think, should be more grateful. Sometimes I think we don't realize how blessed we are to have some of the things in our lives. And so being grateful at Thanksgiving is particularly a good thing, I wanted to highlight this story because it's not very often that you see young people stepping out on the ledge to do something, to come up with an idea, and to make it a reality. That is true. So congratulations, Isabella. A great experience for Greenwood, a great experience for you, and a delicious experience for all that came. They didn't run out of food, but I understand they were running low at the end. So they targeted their number right, about 400 people. Some people did get it to go, but most people just ate right there. For a while there was a line out the door to get in. What a testament to a fabulously well done. By the way, I happen to have read that some of the recipes that she used for the food were actually her family's personal recipes that she had. So she did it her way. She made it a reality, and she is to be congratulated. And I congratulate you, Isabella Young, right here on WCRS. Thank you for your service to our community. May it not be the last service to our community. So there you go. That was great. And some other news. We were at, as I was starting to tell you earlier, at Benjamin Mays and Woodfields yesterday. What a great day. The 2 days were great with Mac Arnold and his band, A Plate Full of Blues, which consists of Max Hightower was there teaching harmonica. And he said, the only thing Max said, he goes, hey, next time when I come, can I have a smaller class? We had about 25 kids in there, and they had only had a couple of hours, but he made it happen. And that's what I think is so cool about musicians that are, particularly those that want to teach and share their skill. They had tables set up, and he went around to all the little tables. Now, Max Hightower is a tall guy. He went around to each of the tables, squatted down, showed the kids how to hold the harmonica, how to breathe in, breathe out. And I tell you what, when they got up on Wednesday morning over there at Benjamin Mays to perform, it was awesome. It was awesome. Many of you don't know this. I have a mission that I think people need to recognize how important the harmonica is. When I taught a class, what was it? It's going on 2 years ago, I guess, at a summer camp we did with District 50. The kids could sign up for harmonica. Not one child signed up for a harmonica. So I said, well, we're going to do harmonicas anyways. The school had bought the harmonicas. We're going to do harmonicas anyways. So what did we do? I put together a little thing about famous people that played the harmonica. I showed all these different harmonicas through the ages. It was not bad. But anyways, by the time we finished, all the kids that were in the class, which was all the camp, because we said everybody's going to have to be exposed to this, kind of like English 101, and all the kids were loving the harmonica. Well, then we hadn't done anything with harmonicas. So we brought Max Hightower down here, And he showed off his talents as a harmonica player. And he had a class, and they did great. And the day that they were in concert, it was just such a wonderful thing to see. The kids each got their own little solo. Max held the microphone right up against there so they could be heard out there. It was great. So that was one part of it. Max was doing that. Max Hightower. If you don't know Max Hightower, look him up. He has a Facebook page. He also has just put out a CD. He is getting all kinds of awesome reviews out there on his work. He's part of Mac Arnold's Plate Full of Blues. So then we have Austin Brazier, who travels, goes all over. He also teaches guitar, and he's been a stable element here since Mac Arnold started coming down here. He played, he had the guitar. He had a huge group of guitar players. I don't know, I bet they had 30 plus students in the guitars. So they had a good time. Then we had Rick Latham, internationally famous drummer who now lives in Columbia, South Carolina. He's played with some really great groups, had some great opportunities. I need to try to dig that interview I did with him out and talk about some of the things that he's done in the world, because he has really accomplished so much. But anyways, he was teaching percussion. They learned how to do the tambourine, which is not as easy as one might think. And then, of course, we had Mac Arnold, and I got paired with Mac to teach backup dancing. Well, that was right up my alley, let me tell you. Not dancing, backup singing. That was right up my alley. So we had our group together singing and making sure they came in at the right time for the chorus, and then they had little moves, and they had little claps, and they had the turning point. I mean, it was great. Well, then you always wonder how it's going to turn out when you have a concert, right? Well, we get warmed up, and then we do the first group over there at Benjamin Mays. Now they've been warmed up with their teachers. They've been warmed up with the instructors for this program. And now the moment of truth happens. We bring the little ones in for the concert. You hold your breath. You look at your group and say, make sure you smile, right? And when we're supposed to be going to the left, go to the left, and then go to the right and left and right and everything. And then it starts. Well, it was great. Everything was just great. It was one of those experiences that I will look back on for many, many, many years, because I enjoy seeing the accomplishment in these students. When they had broken, because we had such a large group, they broke them into smaller groups to perform so that each child would be able to be showcased. All right, so we get to the second group, and the backup singers were supposed to do I think there was 8 in one group and 7 in the other. So one child said, there's only 7 in the second group. Can I perform again? And then everybody's going, can I perform again? Can I perform again? So we had all 15 backup singers on the stage, and I asked Miss Allen, Terry Allen, I said, now you only wanted that many up there, but they're asking if they can perform again. She goes, they want to perform again? This is amazing, of course. So we let all of them perform. Anyways, that was great. While we were there, one little boy that I had met at High Hopes, this is a great story. At High Hopes, I was walking around warming up the crowd, talking to the kids and everything. One little boy said, do you remember me? And I looked at him and I said, I think so. And he goes, I was at High Hopes the day you came. And I said, I do remember you. You're the one that stood up and sang Mac Arnold's song, I Can Do Anything. And so that was really a really pivotal moment. That was so great to know the effect that Mac Arnold's music has had on the children. They really sing that song with gusto. I can do anything if I stay in school and get my education. That is the message. And They love that song. They know that song. And for that little boy, because that had been another year or so since we had actually done that, and he still remembered me coming out there to High Hopes after school one day, and we played kazoos, and I was telling him about the artist, and he goes, "Oh, I've met Mac Arnold." And I said, "Okay." And he went to Benjamin Mays, still at Benjamin Mays, and he stood up and sang that song right there in front of his peers at the High Hope School. So the bottom line to all this conversation here this morning is, when you are blessed enough to be able to give back and be able to see the effect that you can have, it really is one of the greatest blessings that one can get. And as I go into Thanksgiving, I'm going to think about all the good things that we with GPA have been able to do for our community. And I just want to say it's been great. I love it. And so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens next. But that's it for this year. Well, maybe there's one little thing, but that's it basically for this year. However, we do have the toy drive going on. The toy drive is going on right now, and we need you to get over there and get some toys. Get some toys right there to make sure that all the children in District 50, who by no fault of their own will not be having Christmas. A lot of these children are children who are homeless. What shall we call them? I don't know what the proper term is. Partially homeless. They don't have a stable home to live in. They may be on a sofa one night. They may be at another house another night. They could be in a hotel one night. But the bottom line is they are not in a stable living situation. That is one of the basic requirements. So therefore, they cannot get some of the help that is out there through other community offices. But with the program that we do, be the heart of the holidays, they are able to have Christmas. So anything and everything that you can do to help us, I know a lot of people are being pulled and pushed in a lot of different directions, really, really, really would be appreciated. We can take monetary donations. We can also take toys. I know Chick-fil-A is going to be doing some specials for this. They always like getting involved in raising the competition, right? And I know that at Dairy Queen, there is you can get a small blizzard if you take a toy in, you can get a small blizzard. That's a deal, right? That's a deal. So then if you eat over at Eggs Up Grill, bring a toy in there, they will take 10% off your meal. So see, there are all kinds of good things that are happening. So that's what I would like to remind you. I would like to remind you to please help out all these different groups so that we can make sure that we have Christmas. Now, our Christmas toy drive, Be the Heart of the Holidays. We have to have those toys back in by the 10th, but that's plenty of time to get toys and more toys. All right, so get some toys. This is for age group 4 through 11. If you'd rather make a donation, a cash or check donation, you can make the check out to WCRS. Our shopping elves will make sure that we are out there buying the appropriate toys. So 4 to 11, do not wrap them, just put them in the box. We've got a box out here at WCRS. We also, as I said, where do we have them? Chick-fil-A, Dairy Queen, Fat Daddy's, Eggs Up Grill. Where else do I have them? I'm going to miss somebody, I know. Who else do I have? Oh, over there at Polaris Gaming. Polaris Gaming has one, and Over there at Lee's Jewelers has one. So we're trying to make it easy. We're trying to make it fun, but we're also saying thank you so much for all that you do. These are truly children who, to no fault of their own, do not get Christmas because of their living situation. So anything you can do to help would surely be appreciated. So that's a little bit. We've done this toy drive, 2 or 3 years? We always fill up the trailer, and we're excited to be doing that again. Some of you may have seen the Toys for Tots boxes around town. Those also will be distributing toys coming up real soon, so that's another thing that you can contribute to. But if you contribute to the Be the Heart of the Holidays one, you'll know that it's going to children in the school systems, District 50 and 51, who really need your help. So that's a little bit about what is going on. I try to keep you apprised on all the good things. Help me out with the toy drive if you can. And then coming up, if that's not enough, Ann Eller, coming up on the 9th of December, what are we doing? We're doing the Burton Center Parade with our Burton Center Boombox Parade. Now that'll be about 12:30 on that Tuesday. And if you can get out there to see it, it is the biggest and best parade around. That's all I got to say. It is the best parade. Now, I realize every town has a Christmas parade. Everybody has a parade. What makes the Burton Center Parade so great? Well, let me tell you what makes the Burton Center so great. Number one, it has the WCRS Burton Center Boombox Band Parade. What is a boombox parade? Well, if you've been listening over the last few years, you know what we do. Comes 12:30, we put the music of Christmas marching music on, and we tune it in on our boomboxes out there at Burton Center. The band actually carries boomboxes around, and then they do a little dance, and yeah, I'm the leader of it. You know me. You got to be in the center of things. We march around right out there at Burton Center. It's maybe half an hour. It's the best time in the world. People will be there. I think the Chick-fil-A cow's going to be there. I think we're going to have some fire trucks, the mayor. I mean, it's just a great parade. We just march around the parking lot, and we'll be playing the music on the radio, and we'll be playing the music, and we'll be playing it out there through the car radios. Anybody that has a car radio, we ask them to please tune it over to 98.5. And so the music blares, and we have music, and it's a beautiful thing. That will be my last project for the year, I think. Unless somebody else gets me to do something else. But that's my plan. Then I want to get back and enjoy Christmas. So that's my story for today. Not much news. Just talking to you about some of the things that are important to me. And if you have a question or a comment here and you'd like to say something, 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. Somebody just sent me a message. You should be exhausted. I am. I am exhausted. I am exhausted. And then, of course, I got Penny here, and she doesn't understand. What's the problem? Why can't you take me outside? Why can't you do this for me? Why can't you throw the FRISB, Frisbee? Why can't you throw that so many times for me? What's wrong with my food? Why isn't my food ready? On top of that, on Monday after working that morning, I had a lesson. We had a training lesson with Penny. What a hoot. Wait till I tell you what we're teaching her to do. You'll just be saying, Ann, you're too much. but she'll be wanting to meet Penny because of what she's learning to do. That's all for the story on that. I want to say just one last thing. That was at Benjamin Mays, what I told you about. But on Tuesday afternoon, we went over to Woodfields. And the population over there, they have quite a large Hispanic population. But and then, of course, the other students, it's elementary school over there. They had not had the experience of having Mac Arnold there before. And to see their faces light up and get involved and singing that, so they had already learned the song, I Can Do Anything. They were truly amazed. I tell you who else was truly amazed was the effect of a 83-year-old guy playing the blues up there on the stage were the teachers. Most of them, I don't think they realized what experience was coming into their schools. They loved it. Don't get me wrong. But I think they were a little surprised to watch the children's reaction. And you could watch the children's faces. The faces, first they're sitting there going, oh yeah, old guy coming up to the mic. And Mac Arnold he's 83 and he has had several back surgeries and all this kind of stuff, but he's still moving and grooving. Had his gas can guitar with him, had to tell him the story of his gas can guitar. But when he started singing and the kids started listening and grooving to the music, it was magical. That's all I can say. I have been so blessed in my life to have met the people that I have met, to have had a husband that said, I bought you a radio station, Ann. You'd be good on the radio. I would have never thought that that was possible. And I don't know. People tell me I'm pretty good. But the one thing that it does for me, it gives me joy to be here every day. I'm going to cry. Every day with y'all. So thank you very much every day for tuning in. Thank you for your comments on Facebook. Well, they're all positive, so yes, thank you for those comments. And for calling in on our new text line, 864-332-9355. You can text or you can call and leave a message, and it converts it to a text, which makes it great when I'm on the air if you'd want to contribute to a story or something that I'm doing. So, that's my show for today. Thank you for listening on WCRS. Thank you for letting me be the voice of Greenwood. Thank you for tuning in every day and keeping me straight, but also giving me good intel and spreading the word as good as we can spread it right here in Greenwood, South Carolina. WCRS on the radio since 1941, September 1st, 1941, and still today a viable source for your advertising needs and for your listening enjoyment. Thank you. I am blessed. I am blessed because I have you. Have a great Thanksgiving. I don't know. You can tune in tomorrow morning. I might get up and go on the radio. You know, I have in the past. Done this show. It's called Music to Cook By. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'm pretty tired. But I may get up and do a show and just tell you what the weather is. Tell you what's happening out there. Hopefully the world will take a break from big politics and will just be kind of peaceful. That would be my wish for Thanksgiving. My wish also is that you get together with family and friends, and for one day at least, everybody put the politics aside and just enjoy being together and seeing each other, because you never know when the last time that will be. God bless us each and every one. That's going to do it for me here today. Hope you enjoyed the show. You know, you can always send me a comment, 864-332-9355. But remember this. Keep on sharing. That's right. Keep on sharing. Keep on talking. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye. As long as you've got
What's on your mind?